Now, Lisa Lanier usually joins us on Fridays at this time. This is our last day for a while, so she's agreed to join us on Wednesday, which is so nice of her.
You didn't have to.
No, she's on vacation in Greece. This is her second report in a row from Greece. We have her resting poolside. Now, she spent her morning doing likely exactly what you did, riding a horse through the Aegean Sea.
What's your
very common?
Don't you have a seaside trip yourself, Kelly?
Yes, I'll be headed off to the beach. In a couple of days.
What will you ride through the ocean? I mean, we know you'll be riding high, but
comparing these vacations will not.
Yeah.
What did you say a few years ago? Kristen would see the Eiffel Tower and I'd putt through it.
Bingo.
It's about the same. That's right. Here's Lisa Lanier poolside from I don't even know where.
Which island?
In
We don't
Greece.
know.
Where are you exactly, Lisa?
Hey, good morning. I am on Paros, Paros, not Paris. You're talking about the Eiffel Tower.
Paros.
Paros. It's a beautiful island in Greece. And, I'm poolside because I got up at the butt crack of dawn this morning to go ride horses, along the beach in the Aegean Sea. And you have to do it before the beachgoers get out there. So you have to get out early. And so then you come back and you drink a little bit and you take a nap. That's what I've been doing.
I love it. My God.
That's just epic.
Yeah.
Jeez. We just saw a photograph of you and the family riding horses through the Aegean. And I said, this is going to be just like my vacation next week.
I was a little shocked at how deep the horse goes in the ocean.
I was too.
Me too.
His head was barely out of the water.
now, the one thing is the same, though, is that you will have to get out early to mark your place on the beach.
You're right.
Only thing is you'll have to mark it with cigarette butts.
That's right.
Line of camels here. Somebody's marked
That's
this.
right. Marking off your spot on the beach. I'll bring you back some saltwater taffy, Lisa. This is what I do. Two cases here, not really on the docket. One, we just had this story about this guy who escaped, the devil in the Ozarks, that former cop who had been on a crime spree and was in prison for life and escaped in Arkansas. He was out on the loose for 12 days. And do you know that when they dragged him in front of a judge now, when they said, how do you plead to escape? He said, this guy, the balls on this guy said, not guilty. How do you like that?
Right.
How do you like that?
I can't wait to hear the story behind that, right?
Yeah.
How is he not guilty?
That's a pretty good
Do you think
plea
that was
there.
something that his attorney advised, or is he just kind of bullying ahead on his own, Lisa?
Well, you can absolutely, anytime, even if it's glaring, you can say I'm not guilty because
True.
the state's got to prove it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're right.
Speaking of which, now I'm into the Karen Reed trial. I wasn't for a long time. My wife had no interest in it. And all of a sudden,
All the elements.
yeah, well, she's on it now. So yesterday we have court TV on. The jury has deliberated now for a few days.
4 or 5.
Yeah, over Karen Reed. And yesterday I was getting ready to leave to go play pickleball.
She's also accused of murder, yes?
Yes, she's accused of running over her boyfriend and killing him. Also a cop. Drunk. Now, she was drunk. He was drunk. Everybody involved was drunk. And the jury has been deliberating. And A-Train said, now hang on before you leave, because the court TV reporter said something's happening. There is an air here. There's a buzz. Everybody stood up because there's hundreds of people now supporting her. Almost all are supporting Karen Reed. And they'll chant, free Karen Reed. They love her. And then the court reporter came out and said, all right, the judge is dismissed for the day. We're all going home for the day. We'll come back tomorrow. So, Lisa, when they deliberate this long, this is good news for her, right? Good news for the defense.
Yeah, it's good news for her. And the jury yesterday asked several questions that really showed their cards. One was they asked if they are unanimous on the first two more serious counts, but they're deadlocked on the lesser offense, which is operating under the influence. What happens? That was one of their questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's obvious that they don't think that she murdered him, and they can't decide if the state has met their burden on operating under the influence. So I think the good news for Karen Reed is that she's probably going to get a hung jury again, and this time her attorneys are going to do a better job and poll the jury and get the jury to commit that they voted unanimously on the first two counts, going to knock those two counts out. And then the only thing that will be left is if the state wants to retry her on operating under the influence. I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh, well, then they
seems
won't
like a waste of
They
time.
won't do that because it'll be a fine.
Surely not.
Mm-hmm.
This has cost the state so much money, and And really, I think if anything, that's what she did. I don't really like her after I saw her documentary or the documentary about her, but I think that at most that's what she did. She and her boyfriend were very drunk, and she was out there in the snow. They had been fighting. She dropped him off. She backed up the SUV and maybe hit him. We don't know. And that's the thing. Has the state even proved that?
I agree. They can't, if I were on that jury, I would have to say I have so much reasonable doubt. I would vote not guilty. Now, I might give her. I know she was drunk. I know she was. So I might vote guilty on that.
Just to play devil's advocate, because I'm not as I'm familiar with just the basics of the story. It does seem to me like there's a lot of reasonable doubt from what I've heard from headlines.
Yeah.
What's the strongest evidence against Karen Reed, or is there?
They had some plastic fragments from that were the color of her taillights in the vicinity of where his body was found. But then that was torn apart by her defense. But that was, I thought, their single piece of strongest evidence was, how'd your taillight get there?
Get broken and get there, right? Yeah. But the thing, even if she
you
ran
just get an expert witness, Biggie, testify about women drivers. Am I right?
well,
bingo.
that's your thing.
I'll tell you, those taillights are just littered down the highways.
the Commonwealth calls Biggie to the stand.
Now,
In your opinion, Mr. Biggie, how are female drivers?
yeah, terrible, awful.
Are you surprised there's pieces of a tailgate in the snow?
No, not at
No.
all. He's the expert. And I'll tell you something. I made the mistake of saying this to my wife. Now, the court reporter was out there with 1,000 people wearing Karen Reed shirts and holding signs. And I said, what kind of loser goes to this kind of... of course, my wife said,
Why?
I don't know why. I don't know. I was like, don't
You've
these
done
people,
this before.
But don't they have jobs? Why are they supporting this awful woman? I was like, now, I know this awful woman may not have killed this guy, but she's awful. She's awful. Why are you supporting her? And my wife said, why don't you bite your tongue? Some of us have interest in some of these things. It's one of them.
But you often forget that your wife once traveled
That's right.
to a trial.
Across state lines.
Multiple times.
Spent several days at a trial.
Correct. She was, what did you say, Biggie, that she was on TV so much they thought that Alex Murdoch was dating her?
Yeah. The press started trying to interview her as she left.
Is this a new love interest in Mr. Murdoch's life?
He still has his supporters.
Mystery
This
woman.
prison pen pal.
Who's this pretty lady? That's my wife.
I have got to remember that when I start to speak.
Don't you have
I can't believe you
jobs?
said that. Do you know who your wife is?
I know. And I said, don't you have jobs?
How dare you?
What are you doing supporting this terrible woman who ran over her boyfriend? This is awful.
They're defending the Constitution.
Now, yes, Lisa, I want to bring this to you. I hate to say this. I'll have to say a word I don't like. There's a judge in Texas, and see if you've run into this kind of thing before. Her name is Raquel West. A man was in felony court in front of her for a hearing, and when he stepped up, he was wearing a T-shirt that said "World's Best Farter" on it, and she read him the riot act.
Good morning, sir. What made you think that was a good shirt to wear to court this morning? That's all you could find? That's all, the only shirt you had in your closet? World's Best Farter. That's great. No, it says, I can read it. I see what it says at the bottom. You're in felony court. You need to dress appropriately to felony court, and that's not appropriate.
That was him, by the way, at the end.
Was it like a play on World's Best Father?
Yes, it was. And
T-shirt?
He said, see at the bottom. She goes, I see what it says. It says World's Best Farter. I can read that. Lisa, your thoughts on this? I'm very upset by it. And I like what she did. Go ahead.
She was not as hard on him as she could have been, and I think part of the reason for that is that we've seen a shift. Back when I first started practicing, if you showed up with a shirt like that, you'd be held in contempt of court.
Really?
And I mean, judges used to hold people in contempt for having a cell phone. Back when cell phones first came around, if you had a cell phone and it rang, they would. But now they just ban them. Now the metal detector just catches you at the door and you don't get your cell phone. But they held people in contempt. There was a judge in Wake County that held women in contempt if they wore pants to court instead of a skirt.
Yes.
Lawyers.
So does
Women
Kelly.
lawyers.
Yeah, I hold them in contempt.
I mean, this was-
That's my move, Lisa.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy back in the day. But what started happening was that you got into, more contemporary times, and those things started being overturned, and so it just became a thing in the past. Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, the culture
So now-
slides.
Just says, "What are you thinking?" The judge just says, "What are you thinking?"
I don't like this culture slide. I don't care for it. You know that. And yet,
You hold a lot of people in contempt,
hold them
but
in-
you're powerless.
all the time. Exactly. And I don't say anything. I mean, this judge did say something. Is that the best shirt you could wear in here? But he pointed
This
to the
guy clearly didn't have a good lawyer or any lawyer. I saw the video of him, and he just stood there by himself. I guess he didn't. I've had clients show up dressed inappropriately, and I send somebody to Walmart and get them a shirt.
Do you really?
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't let them drive. Show up in court looking like that, because it does matter. Like, a jury's going to look at you and judge you for that.
Yeah.
I thought everyone liked Rick and Morty.
I mean, wouldn't you think? Next case on the docket from New Orleans, a police officer there, Derek Burmaster, has been on trial in federal civil lawsuit after fatally shooting a 16-week-old puppy named Apollo 4 years ago while he was responding to a domestic disturbance call. He has been cleared of this, even though body cam footage and official reviews indicated the puppy posed no harm to him. He shot the puppy, and I'm getting a puppy today.
Oh, I don't think Lisa knows.
I'm getting a puppy today, Lisa. And this hits really close to home. And now a lot of people are saying he should be charged with this. This is terrible. Why do you think he got away with it, Lisa?
Well, it was a complicated and kind of mixed outcome where the victims, the puppy's family, actually kind of thought they won. It was a very cute puppy. I posted it on my Lanier Law Group social media. Very cute puppy. But what happened was the jury actually found that the police officer violated these people's constitutional rights, but that he had immunity, which is common. We've talked about that many times. Police officers have immunity as long as they're not acting in a completely reckless fashion with, basically intentional disregard for the safety of others and that sort of thing. And so they held that he was negligent and that he violated their constitutional rights, and that the city was liable for $10,000 for emotional distress for the family and $400 for the value of the dog. So they won, but the officer was not individually held. He was held to be negligent and wrong, in the wrong, but that he had immunity.
Man, I just don't like that. I mean, it was really wrong.
Yeah.
The body cam footage showed that puppy was not bothering him.
Not even. And he injured his partner, discharging his weapon, which I could not find any more details if he shot the partner.
Yeah.
But that's what I gathered was the inference there, was that he also shot his partner.
Yeah.
They had to take the partner to the hospital.
Yeah. He did not suffer consequences enough in my mind. So
No.
I don't. This guy's off my list.
Apparently there's been a big problem in New Orleans. One of the reasons this garnered a lot of attention was there's been a big problem. This is, I think, the 11th or 12th dog that has been killed this year, where it was questionable whether the dog was really posing any kind of threat to the officer. They just come in, the dog starts barking at them, they shoot it. And the police chief, she goes rushing to the defense of the cop without even looking at the body cam footage. So that was a problem too.
Man, just awful. I hate to hear that story. This one you've sort of ruled on before with us, but there's a new case now in Las Vegas. 3 different lawsuits filed a couple of months ago against resorts Treasure Island and the Luxor because 4 more guests have reported severe injuries from being bitten by bed bug infestations. Now, you've told us before that the hotels they're getting away with this because
They fumigate regularly.
there's nothing you can really do. Is this the same case here? Because these folks are saying we've got scars. It's been terrible. And there is one lawyer, an attorney known as the My Bedbug lawyer, that is representing all 4 travelers and thinks he can get something out of these hotels. What do you think, Lisa?
It is, the tide is sort of starting to turn for the bed bug victims, and they're starting to recover because it has continued for so long. And they say that they are not, apparently juries are finding, particularly in Las Vegas where there's a serious infestation, people are saying that it's a bed bug pandemic in 19 states now, not just Nevada, but particularly in Las Vegas. These are really nice, 4 and 5 star hotels that are infested with these things, and they say that they are not training staff to look for them. And when they can show that, that's negligent. When you've already had, that's the thing, is this first round of lawsuits where people lost because there was no notice. Now that gave notice to these hotels, hey, there's a problem. And so they have to now react and prevent other people from being attacked by these bed bugs. And apparently it's really bad, like causing really serious injuries.
Yeah. We almost had bed bugs out of the country entirely until about 10 years ago. And then all of a sudden they started coming back with a vengeance. And yeah, I guess that's right. So what are they to do? Do they just have to get it regularly fumigated or look for them? And once they see one, they've got to, what would they do?
Yeah, they got to train the cleaning staff when they come in and change the bedding and stuff to look for them, because you'll see them. And then when they see them, they call an exterminator, and they basically kill them with incredibly hot air piped into the room.
Yep, that's right.
Now, Lisa, you travel a great deal. I mean, how concerned are you about bed bugs? Or are you concerned about?
Not only I've never seen a bed bug.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I have been at Great Wolf Lodge before with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And, that place, but they're really good about it. And I've seen the bed bug truck, like on a different floor, piping hot air into a room. So I think they're on it.
Oh.
But that's, that's, you got to be able to trust that your hotel is going to look out for you.
You do. Biggie?
I've stayed at both of these resorts in Las Vegas, and I have to just say this. Through the years, both have declined greatly.
Okay.
Luxor, Treasure Island?
Yeah, so you kind of, you get what you pay for when you stay in Vegas.
But even
I know, but I'm just saying, I
You
wasn't
can do Vegas on a
shocked.
budget and not come home scarred.
Well, yeah, but
Right.
I was not surprised that these two properties had the issue.
Okay, those are the two.
Has the Venetian declined? It's been years and years since I stayed. That was one of the ones that had the bed bugs. I was surprised the Venetian.
No, Venetian's still all right.
Yeah, you like it.
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't think you'd see it at Caesars or Bellagio?
Yeah, I don't think you'd see it at Bellagio.
The Wynn is clean?
The Wynn properties?
Not at the Wynn.
The Aria is clean?
Yeah, Aria's good.
All right.
What about Circus?
Oh, they're there. And in fact, they're putting on an act in the
Circus, yeah.
As part of the act.
Yeah, we're bed bug. Well, come on in.
When you go in your room, they're doing flips and everything on your bed.
We're bed bug friendly.
Signs out front. It says Circus.
Yeah. Maybe, let me ask you this. Could the hotel just put up, we might have bed bugs, like a sign? Hey, there could be bed bugs here. Come on in. Wouldn't be the greatest thing.
Typically a warning.
That covers you.
It does cover you, but here it'd be a little bit harder, because then what would your option be for,
Right.
Do you check out and you don't have another reservation? Or
Hey, when you make your plans here, just know, put it online. Look, if you're signing up here, we might have a bed bug. What do you got?
I told you, you would like the Luxor, Chris Kelly, because they don't have an elevator.
No elevator.
They have the inclinator.
What?
It's an inclined elevator.
Oh, my.
Because of the pyramid shape.
That's right.
Yep.
How many floors?
A lot. Yeah, I've actually stayed on the top floor of the Luxor.
How many flights up?
I can't even remember now. I mean, it's a lot, but
And you just ride this
and
moving sidewalk?
And no. I mean, it feels like you get in like an elevator, but it's in an incline, so it goes.
inclinator.
But let me tell you, they are rickety.
when
you're going up, it's a.
There's another.
Okay. So it travels up on an angle.
Yeah, because it's a
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like a moving sidewalk.
No.
One more quick one here, Lisa. From Florida, Tampa resident Hales Blackbrick unsuccessfully sued a food blogger, Irene Ng, for a defamation after she left a critical 1-star review in December of 2023, citing dry spare ribs, lukewarm coffee, and subpar meat. She is a Yelp Elite member, a reviewer, and when she puts her reviews out there, apparently people avoid the restaurant. This has happened before, where they're suing over a Yelp review, but they always lose, right?
Yeah, it depends a lot. It's like, so what happens sometimes, like this lady's a professional reviewer, and she fought it. But, if it's just your average consumer that goes in and they put a review and then all of a sudden they're getting slapped with a lawsuit, a lot of times they don't adequately respond and they get defaulted, or they can't afford an attorney and they get defaulted. So sometimes the restaurant just wins by simply sort of having superior economic resources. But what happens is, they say it's defamation, number one. So you have to be careful when you're leaving a review that you keep it to opinion. And they say she sort of was on the line, but the court didn't think so. When she said subpar meat quality, they're like, we only buy top quality meat and we can prove it. That she was kind of crossing a line, but the judge disagreed and dismissed the lawsuit. So she won, the reviewer won. And typically, if they fight it, it's usually opinion, right? And here, I think this particular restaurateur was kind of a celebrity chef, and so it raised the level for defamation to it had to be intentional harm, and so it was a different case than a lot of them.
Okay.
All right.
She said it was a win for free expression. He said nonsense. Lisa, wonderful to talk to you as always. Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Thank you. I'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Bye. There she goes, Lisa Lanier, our official attorney.